Hi, I'm Chan Sterling, and today we are going to be playing through a game called Arcadia: The Wyld Hunt. Ooh, Arcadia. Ooh, make sure the webcam stops autofocusing because I never want an autofocus. Get out of here, autofocus. You are my nemesis. Anyway, Arcadia: The Wyld Hunt is this game from White Wolf Games from back in the 90s. And it's a weird little RPG style game that attempted to give you the vibe of being in an RPG, but on a card in a card game. Um, I have some new technology today. I'm excited to try out. As you see, I've got my over there, over here. I've got my new green screen card view. So hopefully, it'll be easier for you guys to read the cards as I play them. I can just drag the card that I'm talking about over to the side, and then you guys should be able to see it nice and zoomed. I'm not sure if it's actually legible, but it's better than what it was. So this is just my phone as an IP webcam. If this is something, I want this better, so I'm trying to find another webcam or another camera that can get good on the text a little bit better. But I do have a little pink screen, green screen. That way, when I put the cards over, they'll disappear and you can see what's underneath it, and you only see it when it's there. There's that little flash of pink, so there's probably always mostly going to be a card there, but I think I can live with a little bit of pink in order to have this technology, because I think that's going to be useful for this game. All right. So Arcadia. What do we want to talk about with Arcadia? So Arcadia came in packs. Arcadia came in packs like this. Oh, packs like this. And you see this is a red story pack. The Arcadia contains 15 story cards. You would need one pack of this and one pack of one character pack. Look like this, it was blue. And the character pack, with those two parts together, you'd be able to play the game with a 6-sided die. It came with all the rules you need to play the game built into it. It also, we wouldn't necessarily have the best game, but you could play right out of the pack. And I do respect any game that lets you do that. I think that's pretty cool. So we're just going to go down the rules of this game. I've already pre-made some decisions to try to make a flavorful little experience for us. But the game did come on these little rulebook cards that sat right here that show you how to play the game. First things first, we are going to pick a character. Well, a race of character. You would get these little cards here. They look like this. It would tell you your character's things. So this is a seed. A Sidhe? I think that's some Welsh stuff. How to pronounce Sidhe. She. Sidhe. She. Apparently it's Irish Gaelic, eh? It's was used in the Dresden Files apparently several times. It's she. So I'm playing as a she. The game does give you all these little notes to let you know what the different card types are. She is a noble. She has 3 stats. She is a little stronger at being savvy than she is with might or resolve. So she's got a 2 in each of those and a 3. Also on her back side, it gives you a little bit of fluff on the character. It is our way to rule, for none are as fit for leadership as we. To look upon our kind is to see wonder and perfection. Our love is limitless, yet so is our hatred when it is earned. Look to us if you wish to understand life, for we are life. You might say, well, there's no art on that card. Well, if you saw the last time, these little guys go whoop, and they turn into little standees. So that's what my she like. There she is. So she'll be my standee here on the table as I move around the board. Boom. Character race picked. Done. Next setup. In this game, you have merits and flaws. In the game, you always are going to pick 5 points. If you're playing the expansion, you go to 10. But to start your character, you pick 5 points. Eventually, as you play through the game, it's meant to be like a campaign. And you'll play over and over again with your friends, and your character will level up and gain more cards as you play, which is kind of the intent. So I'm going to pick 5 points of cards. There are different cards here that we're going to pick with. These are the ones that come in the character packs. They can be abilities. They can be treasure cards. They can be art cards that kind of give you different factions, different treasure cards. I picked all abilities just because I think they're a little simpler. They have a cost up here. Whoop. I'll let you know how many of your points it's going to take. So I took Eloquent Speech, which is going to let me add 2 to my score anytime I'm waylaid with a creature. So hopefully that'll help me deal with some issues. I also picked Underdog. Since my character is not the strongest in a fight, I picked Underdog, so that way I can exhaust this to add 1 combat or might test when it's going to be over 3. So that way I hopefully have a better shot of not being completely bodied by something difficult. And because I'm playing a she character and this just seemed to flavor, I took Perfect Body, which is going to give me +1 to savvy tests. So hopefully I can really sway people in those situations. Now, one of the things you can do to add more cards is you can also take flaws. My flaw for this game, you'll understand more, is Bernard Assjack. He is like a donkey changeling dude, and he is a jerk. So he actually, this red circle up there, this 3 means I get 3 more points to spend. So since I'm dealing with my enemy, Bernard Assjack, who actually makes it difficult for me to pass tests, I'm going to bring with me Receptive Fighter, which lets me attempt to increase my combat skill, and also a Shield, which is going to increase my combat skill just a little bit. So these are the cards that my character has to start. Normally, when you're playing with an opponent, your enemy and your flaw cards would go to your opponent for them to remember how they work. But since it's just me, I'm going to remember him right here. All right. Next up, we have to figure out, where's my rules? Here we go. You would pick your court. So this is a game mechanic to let you know essentially if you're on the bad guy side or the good guy side. The cards you have can tell you whether they're good guy or bad guy. Like, one of the races, I think, was Red Cap. Red Caps always have to be bad guys. It's in the rules, which means you can't play that many good guy cards. It's kind of a balancing act. So there's the symbol on the cards. Let me just use it. So this symbol down here, this little flower, it means that it's either going to be Seelie or Unseelie. The dark blue is going to be Seelie, and the white is going to be Unseelie. And so since I have 1, 2, 3 dark blue and 1 light blue, I'm going to be a Seelie character, which means I guess technically a more good aligned character. Technically next, I would pick my identity, who my character's name is. Okay, so since she's Irish Gaelic name generator. Siobhan. There we go. Her name is Siobhan, but it's spelled Siobahn. H-A-N, didn't I? What did I say? A-H-N? I was pretty close. Siobhan. All right, so I've got my character cards. I'm actually going to move these, I think, down here so they're in front of me so I can, like, use them. One of the things about this game, there aren't card backs in this game. They didn't want to use tap or move your cards sideways because that was a big litigation thing with Wizards of the Coast in the early 90s. All the cards, when they're exhausted, flip face down, and then you get more of the art of the card. I actually think is kind of a neat mechanic because it's just every card has the option of being full art, and then it's very easy to see across the table if the cards have been used just by seeing whether or not you have text on them anymore. All right, so Bernard Assjack, can have him up in the top corner because he's my... Actually, I'm going to keep him down here so I remember him. He's ever present to bother me. Got my character. So now what? What do I do? I've got to... It's just like being in D&D. I built a character. Now what? Now I got to have things to do, right? Let's figure out our things to do. First up, we have to... Oh, here we go. I got some flavor text for us to read. Years ago, Skyholm, the mountain castle of High King Ardlanth, ruler of Arcadia, fell under a mysterious curse called the Darkening, which turned all of Skyholm's inhabitants into petrified marble statues. Several months ago, Lord Gaming, the ruler of Ardenmoor, embarked upon a quest to uncover the truth about Skyholm and the Darkening. He has not returned. In his absence, Gaming's human mule advisor, Bernard Asjack, there he is, rules as regent. Bernard has called all of the heroes of the land together to set out on a quest to find Lord Gaming and return him to Ardenmoor. So we're gonna go try to find this king. We have different quests that we're gonna undertake in order to get there. Yeah. Yeah. He's a donkey dude.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, he's not a good dude. So, all right. What do we got? We got my character story pack going. Okay. First, we pick a quest card. So this is the quest that's going to tell us what we're going to be doing in the game. Capture the traitor. So on the front, it's going to tell me a couple things. First, before I get into the flavor of it, it tells me to pick 1, 2, 3 points worth of treasure cards. That's going to be this little treasure symbol down here. 3 points of treasure cards. So I've chosen a wooden horse, pixie dust, and a coin of clarity. I'm going to put those face down. Oh, I guess we don't put them face down. I just put them out later. I'll try to shuffle them up a little bit. So those I'll have later. I've also assembled a big stack of cards of these waylay cards. These are the cards that are going to mess me up throughout the game. I would be able to pick your opponent would be able to pick 14 out of their collection to fight you before anything else happens. 1, 2, 3. I've kind of randomized these a little bit. I just kind of picked the ones I thought were cool. Typically, you would use your whole collection. It was the idea is that like when you sat down to your opponent's quest, you would then pick cards at that point. Since we're kind of doing the solo version, I'm just going to use pretty much all the cards I wanted to play. So I get 14 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The way I'm going to be playing this version is that whenever I would be able to have a waylay played against me by my opponent, I'm going to flip the top card of the deck. If that, or flip... just flip cards from the top of the deck until a card that's playable on that location is good, and we'll just go for it. Because your opponent would have a ton of cards, and so if those cards didn't get pulled in here, it is what it is, right? Cool, so those are my waylays. What's next? Oh, let's talk about this. So this is Capture the Traitor. On the front, it gives me some specifics, like we're going to travel to Eidolon and pass a Savvy trial, difficulty 7, to convince the ruler of Asjack's treachery. Once Asjack flees, chase him down and beat him in a combat or savvy test to complete your quest. All right, so this feels like kind of like a final, not a final boss, but like something kind of dramatic. All my decks are kind of based around that. So I have to track down this dude, Bernard, convince everyone else that he's a traitor, and then go. Now the backside of the card has a lot more text. So bear with me. Let me see. I'm actually gonna have to read this, so I'll just put Bernard over here so you can see him better. Oh no, my green screen. That's what I'm gonna start calling the dog. Capture the traitor. While you were delivering a letter from the wizard Tiberius of Ebenlik. This game's weird, man. I like it, but it's not normal at all. I mean, but like, it's weird for weird people. Like, I'm a weird person, and I think this game is weird. Okay. While you were delivering a letter from the wizard Tiberius of Ebenlik to Lord Asjack, the letter's waxen seal broke. Vague curiosity being as it is, you read in horror of the secret alliance between Asjack and Tiberius. Since Lord Gaming's disappearance, Asjack and Tiberius have conspired to secure Asjack's position as the new Lord of Ardenmoor, with Lady Sophia at his side. I must venture to Eidolon and accuse Lord Asjack of treachery in his own throne room. That's dramatic. Eidolon. The word. No, Eidolon like something that's emblematic. Like I think an Eidolon is like a Greek creature. Yeah, Eidolon. An idealized person or thing. In Greek literature, it was like a spirit of a like pride or something like that. Anyway, Eidolon. Now you're learning something. All right, so this will give me rules. So I do not have the location. I have a bunch of locations, but I do not have a location called the Eidolon League. So I'm just going to kind of shuffle my locations out and pick one at random. We're going to pretend that's the Eidolon League. Whew. Coral Palace. That seems fair. Okay, so we'll start with that one. I must travel to the Eidolon League and pass a savvy trial, difficulty 7, to convince the court of Astrak's guilt. Once exposed, Astrak flees the court. On the day I pass the savvy trial, my opponent places the Astrak waylay. Hey, look, I also have the bad guy version, the like combat version of him. Woo. So I put him 2 spaces away. I must hunt down Astrak and defeat him in combat savvy or savvy test. On each of my opponent's days, he can move him 1 league in any direction. So I'm just going to have to chase him down and figure it out. Alright, so I'm going to hold these off to the side. He's out in front of me. I don't need this until we get to there, so whoomp. I'm going to keep the quest over here. Alright, I think we're almost ready to go. Now we need to set up our map. Bless you. Setting the stage. We created our characters, selected and played quests. We select and play leagues. For every quest you're undertaking, select 5 leagues. So I'm just going to pick 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at random. Normally you would have other locations for your opponent to pick up. So I'm just going to pick like 3 more off the top to get there. So now we're going to try to set the stage, picking them one at a time. I'm always going to attempt to go clockwise when I'm setting up my locations, just to build something that's a little bit more there. So you always want to set down your map setup, so that way you can build that. All the roads are supposed to connect. So we're trying to go clockwise as we're building around. Some more room. Oh. So now I say I have this, since I can't build it any other way, I have to go this way. This road's gonna go long. Maybe, yeah. I'm going to attempt to build this one. Turns into a lake. And we'll build here. And then we'll build here. So we've got a whole little map to build. So typically speaking, my opponent would then, we would put our treasures face down in different places. So we have our this. They're placed one at a time, and no league can have more than 1 treasure underneath. Just so you know, technically speaking, this shouldn't connect with the river here, but I don't really care today. I just want the river there. I don't like that glare though. I need the light on me, but not on the things. Maybe I can turn it down a little bit. That's not too bad. Okay. But I don't feel like digging through to find stuff that matches more, so it is what it is, friends. Just know that if you were playing something more serious, that would not be appropriate. Oh, and then I have to put this one, so let me go ahead and put this here. All right. So I pick a home venue. I'm actually going to start here, just because I feel like now I actually have to go on a quest to get where I need to go. I'm going to keep him up just to keep the pink under control. Well, no. Oh, I turned the light down and then the pink went wild. Oh, all right. Okay. I'd rather have glare than pink, so. Maybe if I change the colors, will that do anything? No, color made it worse. Color made it way worse. White light. There we go. Okay. I'm going to place treasures face down, so I'm going to put one, I guess, underneath. I guess I got to put some more room underneath, so the one goes here. I'm going to put one here. That way I'm getting treasures as I make my way to the castle. I guess you kind of got to like seed your plan. All right, we'll try it. Okay, so I'm starting here. Oh my god, is it almost time to start playing this game? Am I almost there? I feel like I'm getting close, guys. I think so. Alrighty, so sequence of play. I'm going first because I'm the only player. I like that it says gameplay is simple. If you have to say, setup is right, it's true. But like, if when it's like gameplay is simple, like why did you have to say that? Why isn't gameplay just simple? Why do you have to tell people it's simple? I don't know. I just think it's interesting. Like you're gonna tell me that gameplay is simple instead of just making it simple. Seeing if I can roll my dice into the right spot. No, there it goes. Okay. Don't like that. All right. My opponent and I take turns moving my characters around the leagues that are in play. Each turn is called a day. During a day, a character may either move to and encounter a new league or stay on encounter his current league. Characters can only move to adjacent leagues. They may never move diagonally. Several things may exist on a league. Characters, waylays, rests, and treasures. Okay. When I move to a league, I enter the trial. So there's a trial on the location. I have to deal with that. And then I have to encounter a waylay. When I get there, my opponent can play a waylay on me in this league. I cannot play a waylay on a league that already has a waylay. And if there's more than one waylay on a league, they all must be encountered on the same day. If there's another character who could fight them, I can pick up a treasure, and I can rest. Looks like I can do all of those things. Okay, in that order. Okay. So then we're just going to go first. So first step, I'm going to flip to this location because I'm going down the road. And this is the Arden Road. Woo! Merchants passing by are burdened by their wares. Wanderers often carry less visible burdens. All right, so this seems like it's not a very scary location. So I can show you what these look like. So these locations, on the back sides, they will say the name of it. They'll give you the symbols for what kind of bad guy cards, what waylays can be played on you, the flavor text. And then it tells you if there's something bad when you try to enter the location, there's something bad happens when you try to leave the location, anything that happens when you rest there. There is no like resetting of cards in this game. You don't untap at the start of your turn. You actually have to go to a location that will rest your cards to be able to get them to use again. So it is very tricky. I guess technically speaking, I should have planned my locations better. But we're just kind of goofing off, and this is kind of what it'd be like if you were just bought some packs and weren't trying to make like it super... Oh, I thought I heard like a weird scary sound. All right, so I'm in the Arden Road. First up first, enter a trial. There's no trial when I enter. So I'm encountering a waylay. So I've got my waylay deck. Let's go ahead and see what we can get. So I'm just going to flip cards until I get something that we can play at the fields, a forest, or a road. Oh, first card's up. We have one. We have Traveling Papers. My travel documents are ensnared in the bureaucratic quagmire of the court. To travel ahead, I must sort out the mess with the local officials. I may discard a bag of gold if I had that item. That would let me get through. Otherwise, unless this waylay is defeated in a combat test, it stays there. So anyone who moves through it, so there are other people, would have to fight through this location as well. We have the stats on there, right? So we have, there's might, which is blue. So you can't just strength your way through this one. Like you can't just like pick the boulder up out of the way and go. You could use resolve. I don't know when you use resolve, but I don't think that one actually applies here. And then combat, you could just try to fight and kill the like people here. But I'm not really a combatant. I am just a wee little fairy person who's going to try to be a noble and talk my way out of things. So I have a 3 to my savvy. Let me see. Yeah. I have 3 to my savvy, so I'm going to go ahead and roll this to see if I beat it. So first, it's a 2. I have a 3 on my stat card. So I rolled a 3, so that means I have a 6. The opponent gets a 7. Now... I probably should have used one of my powers first, but I didn't. Okay, so since I lost the waylay, what happens when I lose, when I don't beat the waylay? Hmm. Do I exhaust a merit? Okay, what if I... If I do not defeat the waylay, it remains on the league. Can I read this? Make sure I see it up here. Donations to the court. Unless it's defeated in a combat test, remains in place. So this is still sitting here. Okay. You must pass an order to overcome a circumstance, like a waylay or a character test trial is not opposed. Okay. If you're defeated, I must exhaust a merit. Okay, so I should have exhausted a merit anyway, because if I lose, I do it. Okay, so I'm just going to pretend that I did exhaust eloquent speech, because that's my savvy one. Because I would have to tap it anyway. So I defeated this waylay. However, it's still there because no one killed the like bureaucrats. And that's the day. There's no rest. I don't have any allies to do, so there's nothing there. Typically, my opponent would get to go next, but since it's just me, I'm going to go ahead and go. So I moved to this location, up the road. Splendor Lake. Rumored... Oh, let me see. Let me show you guys. That's fun. This is why I did this, so you guys can see the cards. Oh, there's a lot of bad stuff that can happen here. Rumored to be the original home of the Grey Dragon Splendor Scale, those who sleep beside this picturesque lake sometimes have dreams of massive and ancient dragons soaring overhead. When I enter here, it's free. When I leave, it's free. Special, any waylays add 1 to their score when testing in this league. That's bad. And I can recover a treasure. So let's see. Flip through the waylays. There are a lot of things can be played there. Trees, forests, fields, roads, rivers, lakes. Shuffle up and see if we get one. Ghosts. Looks like ghosts can't be played there. Tax collector can't be played there. Unless there are multiple different kinds of symbols, but... Oh, Pit of the Grubworm. That symbol there? Nope. A Huntsman's Snare. This one is there. That one is a real thing. Okay. I've triggered a Huntsman's Snare. I'd best break free before the hunter returns. I cannot retreat from this waylay. I discard this waylay when it's defeated. It is a... Okay, so that means this is a might test. So I have to use my might, which is a 2. So all the numbers on the Huntsman's Snare are pretty low. 1, 1, 1, and 2. I'm going to go ahead because I get to rest. Oh, this isn't a combat test. Oh, okay. So I'm just going to risk it. It looks like I can... Hold on. How do I have to use the might? Tests and trials. A character in a waylay. There are 4 different types of tests. Like, I see that the waylay has a symbol on it, but it also has all these other values. Can I choose which one I use? Okay, the symbol at the top identifies the type of test that's required. All right. Oh, so that has the other values in case for some reason you can switch the waylay to a different type. There are cards that can do that. That's interesting. All right. So it's might. I don't do well. It's only a might test of 1. I have a might of 2. I don't have much that increases that, so let's just go for it. So I'm gonna roll a 4. The trap is a 5, so I'm just stuck there for the turn. And then since I lost, I have to tap something. I will exhaust this. I will exhaust my treasure, actually. All right, so it's the next day. I have to get out of the trap. I've got a 5. The trap rolled a 5. If I tie, do I get out? Oh, I can retreat if I wanted to. So it means that I have to go backwards. But since I go backwards, I'd have to deal with the stupid papers again. Hmm. Hmm. That's frustrating. This game can be hard if you didn't know what you were doing when you built your character. All right. But the wayland will stick there, so I'm just gonna fight it out and see what happens. Okay, next time. So I lose on dog. 5. You rolled a 4. Hey, I beat the trap this time. Get out of here, trap. You suck. I can recover a treasure when I rest, so that goes up. I'm going to continue moving. I'm going to try to get some of these treasures on my way, so I'm going to go this direction. The hamlet of Easlin. There are a few permanent residents in the hamlet of Easlin. The temptation of the Chaos Well is far too great for them to resist, and the reckless few who come to visit invite great peril. Okay, so if I enter, it's free. There's nothing bad happens. Nothing bad happens when I leave. Okay. Rest. To drink from the waters of the Chaos Well is to invite both fortune and disaster. Roll a die. Oh. I think I'm gonna roll the dice on this weird one. That's crazy. Okay. First of all, waylays get to come at me. So let's see what we got. Can quicksand be played there? That's a road. Quicksand. Oh no. Treacherous ground. If you fail the first test, you're stuck. You cannot retreat and must test again the next day. Add 1 higher might. So it's might 2 on the second day. Might 3 on the third day as you sink deeper and deeper. Once you win a test, you're free. If you run out of merits to exhaust, return to base camp immediately the next day. Oh no. So there's always going to be quicksand here. That's bad. All right. So here's my merit test. Oh. 4. Ugh. So let me see. So I'm gonna get rid of this. Man, I'm sucking at these tests. 4. Nope. I got an 8. Okay, I can't lose that one. Okay, good. No, actually, that number should have been higher. Gotta start over. Ugh. All right. So what happens is once all of your things get all your merits are exhausted, you kind of get knocked out and have to start back over at your home site. All right. Let's try again. Boom. Doing with the papers. I'm going to exhaust eloquent speech to give me a +2. So I have a 5. So I have a 9. They have a 5. Boom. Got through there. Nailed it. I'm going to go to the Splendor Lake. Now they get a waylay on me. Oath Friend. Oh, I think this is one of the things I can play here. It's on the road. Okay. I happen upon an old dear friend with whom I have exchanged oaths of friendship. Your friend would like your aid for a short while. If I fail this test, I do not exhaust a merit, but I must expend my next day in this league as I stop to aid my oath friend. I discard it after it's encountered. Okay. So I have to try to convince my friend I can't help them right now. Sorry, buddy. I roll this. 5 plus 3 is 8. They need to not roll a 6. Roll a 1. All right, so sorry, friends. I can't stay and help you today. I have no treasures to recover. All right. Do I try to fight the quicksand? Or do I go a different path? Okay, I think I'm going to go a different path. I'm going to go forward this time. The Sundered Woods. Divided by Althros Raxus Road and the road to Stormguard Keep, these woods almost seem to whisper of treachery and betrayal when cold winds blow through them in the dead of night. Ooh. Alright, so I get there. See what cards I can play against me. A maze. I think I can play. I think a maze. Trees? Trees, yeah. Before I realize it, my path has led me into a maze of rock, shrubbery, or impassable trees. If I fail this test, I'm trapped in the maze. I cannot retreat and must retest each day until I find my way out. Once played, it remains in play. The maze sucks. That's going to be rough. Okay. Resolve of 2. I didn't get anything to boost my resolve. It only has a 1. So, let's see. I have a 2. So, I roll. I got a 6. The maze is a 4. Whew. Got through the maze. Good news. So, rest. If I'm a Seelie, I can recover an ability. Boom. Nailed it. Gotcha, suckers. And I get to pick up a treasure. Treasure. Coin of Clarity. I exhaust to add 1 to my score in a Savvy test. I can discard the coin to add 2 to my score in a Savvy test. Dope. All right. Next day, we're going to the castle. This is part of my quest. Once submerged, the Coral Palace is now the home of the Air Breathers. Its underwater passages and vertical halls were used by the mayor. Now the resident Dragonkin are the only other race who can easily navigate the halls and towers. Enter is free, leave is free. I can recover 1 advantage here. I don't have any advantages. Oh, yeah, those are advantages. If I'm a noble or Dragonkin, I can recover any 3 merits. Oh, I didn't even realize that. I am a noble. That's dope. So I can go all hog on this test. So I have to amaze forever. Ugh. I have to pass a savvy trial of 7 to convince the court of his trickery. Okay, so it's a 7, but I can recover 3 merits because I'm a noble. So I'm gonna use the eloquent speech, perfect body, and the coin of clarity, which will give me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom! I can't fail the test. Roll a 1. Boom! Ass Jackson asshole. Got him. First part of the quest complete. Now what is it again? All right. Once I pass that, he flees. So I have the Ass Jack waylay. My opponent places him within 2 leagues, so it has to be within 1, 2, so in either of these spots. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's in Splendor Lake, so that's where Ass Jack is. He's here. I must hunt down Ass Jack and defeat him in a combat or savvy test. On each of my opponent's days, he may move Ass Jack 1 league in any direction. All right, so at this point, I just have to chase him down into a corner. So it's going to take a while, but we can do this. All right. Since I'm a noble, I can 1, 2, 3 things. Boom. Yes. Okay. It's my opponent's day. I assume that he will be running Ass Jack. He probably wouldn't move him at this point because he needs to see where I'm going, so that way he can keep away from me. I guess. That's gonna be really hard for me to track this guy down if I move 1 and he moves 1. I can't move multiple in a day, can I? On each of my opponent's days, he may move Ass Jack 1 league in any direction. But I can only move 1 league every day, right? During a day, and either move to an encounter new league or stay on the... Okay, so I can only move 1 a day, so let's see how this goes. So I move into the maze. So when my opponent moves, I don't think he'd move them this direction, so I think he would wait until see where I go. Because I guess he could try to be here, but that's not necessarily better. We'll see. So we move him here. Will I ever be able to track him down? Let's try. Okay, so go to the maze. Actually, let's... Yeah, I go to the maze. This is rough. Okay, so I need the... Do I have any abilities that will help me with might? 1 to combat, 1 to combat, 2 to might if the might's over me. Oh no, it's resolve, it's a 1. I don't have anything to boost my resolve. Okay, so then I just need to be better. I rolled a 3. They rolled a 4. So I lose the maze. I can't go anywhere. Where does Ass Jack go? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He moves here. I'm just going to randomize where he moves because I'm sure an opponent would do something more interesting. But I think the game, since we're going solo, and you kind of want to win a little bit, right? Like, it's not cheating. You just want to play the game. So I'm just going to randomize where he moves every turn. He will never move into me, I guess, is what should work. My next turn, I have to... Oh, since I failed... I'm trapped there. Okay. So I'm going to knock down Underdog. Because actually, that's not a very good thing. That's not going to do too much for me. Maze. Okay, so I got a 6. It rolled. Great. I think I'm not going to fight him. I think I'm going to try to savvy test him, so... Okay, I got a 6. It rolled a 6. Alright. Shield. Can I get out of the freaking maze? Okay, I got 6. It can't beat me there. Okay. Ass Jack probably would have moved away from me. He would be here. But he wouldn't move there, because he moved there, so he wouldn't move in any space. So, I'm going to go... Oh, I'm a Sealy. I get a recover ability, so I'm going to recover Perceptive Fighter. And then I'm going to go to Splendor Lake. No, that increases numbers. I'll go here. What's here? Raxus. The town of Raxus is the home of the diligent yet overwhelmed Sheriff of Raxus. A tempest of villainy and troubles surround the city, yet within all is peaceful. All right. If there's a warrant for my arrest, I must subtract 2 from all my scores against waylays here, because the sheriff is lawful. That's fun. There's warrant cards? That's kind of cool. Okay. I go here. Let's see what bad guy cards come at me. Thomas the Lane Brigand. Can he be played there? Nope, he's at water or explosions. Okay, this looks like it. So it's on the road or in a town. Okay, proper etiquette. I come across a she-noble and his retinue. Hey, look. Pay your proper respects or lose face. If I'm a noble, I gain +1 savvy for this test. Hey, I am a noble. So I get 1, 2, 3 +4 for savvy, and I get to recover an ally when I finish this one, or recover an advantage. I'm an advantage. Okay. So it's only a test of 1. I have 3 +1 for being a noble, so I roll 3. So I got a 7. They roll a 5 +1, 6. So I have enough etiquette to get through here. I don't need to recover. I don't have any allies or advantages to recover. So Ass Jack would have to move here. So I would move here to chase him. Alright, let's do this. Let's see what bad stuff comes at me. So it's just the road. The Arden Pallanian Junction. Whether traveling from the Pallanian Road or the Arden Road, Sealy Kithlane greet those when they pass with a kind word and a warm smile. Unseelie glower from under their cloaks. Okay. Spike trap. Not here. Nymphs. Okay, nymphs can be played here. Oh no. A band of nymphs takes a liking to you. They ask you to dally just a short time and have some fun with them. Their offer is very enticing rest stop from your quest. Though with so many nymphs, you may not get much rest. Discard this waylay when... So this is a resolve test. A nymph. So it's a resolve of 1. I have a resolve of 2. I have nothing to boost that. So I rolled a 4. They rolled a 3. Boom! Gotcha, nymphs. So here's the thing. Ass Jack can move. Like, he moves one, I move one. I will never be able to catch up with him. That has to be wrong, right? Oh, the balance would be that if Ass Jack went into his space, he would have to fight Ass Jack. And that would slow him down. So that makes sense. Then I'm just gonna attempt to move into his square and see what happens. So, boom. The Waylays here had 1 score because it's an evil spot. So this is Ass Jack. There he is. Look at this guy. Lord Gamin's regent is traveling the countryside to make certain all is well with the land, or he's running from me. He asks you to interrupt your current quest to travel to a nearby league with him. Oh, no, I'm going to talk him into giving up so I don't have to kill him. If I fail the savvy test on my next day, my opponent moves me to an adjacent league and discards his waylay. But here's the thing, Ass Jack. You got a +3. I have a +3. I discard this. I got a plus... So that's +3. I go to a 5. I go to a 6. I go to a 7, 8. So I'm rolling 8 plus 3. I have an 11. You're rolling... You have a +3. Boom. You can't do it. Nailed him. I saved the city. The countryside. We did it. So yeah. That is how you play Arcadia. Now, here's how Arcadia kind of works. So see, this is a... at the bottom of the card, this is experience 1. I only got 1 treasure, picked up 1 treasure, so I could either use my experience of the game to either add 1 and keep this treasure because it cost 1, or I could use some of my other cards and save up my experience and spin those to add more advantages as I bought more packs. But yeah, so this is Arcadia, the Wyld Hunt, with our Sealies and all of our weird stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me as I played this weird game. It is a very strange game. There's something cool about making this like RPG world, and then you're just walking around and having to deal with it. And so many of the waylays stay on the board that if you were playing with 3 or 4 players and each person had their own quest they're trying to accomplish, but all this bad stuff kept adding up, it's kind of cool. I enjoy that there's no lose mechanic, there's only win mechanics, if that makes sense. Like, I win by completing my quest. Whoever completes their quest first wins. But since it's experience-based, you just play a session, and then you try to complete as many quests as you can, as long as you're playing, and then you gather more cards and face scarier stuff. And that's kind of dope, you know? There's not really much else like this. I feel like this is very close to Arkham, but without a deck of cards. I struggle to even call this a card game, to be honest. I mean, it is a game with cards. Therefore, it's a card game, I guess. Because it's using exclusively cards, except for this. But that folds up into a card, so, like, maybe. But, yeah, I struggle to kind of place this. You don't have a deck. And I think that's the thing that's really kind of throwing me off here. Because not having a deck in a card game is just unique. It's very, very different. But I do highly recommend you guys checking this one out. It's kind of hard to track down. The boxes are more than retail to get them, and like you're looking at like $6 to $7 a pack for some of this game. I got lucky and got a big lot quite a while ago, and so I don't really have to stress on that with my little collection. But I would always love to have more, but it's just kind of hard to track down. The first set is much more rare than the second set. The second set is King Ironheart's Madness, or the Madness of Ironheart, something like that. And it's a very like more steampunk world. All the characters are like grim darker, as opposed to this being like the fantasy fairy world. That setting is in both, but there's definitely more like mechanical monsters and golems and cities in the second set. In that one, they also balanced it. You roll 2d6 for all your dice rolls, and I do like that better. A lot of people say when you play this, you should just be rolling 2d6 because it makes the variance less wild. Like, you don't get into a position where, like, you roll slightly under yourself 4 times in a row. Like, it's less likely, which does make the game easier, but probably just makes the game more fun while still having your randomized element. Yeah, I would love to have more of this game. And I would love to try to, like, build it almost like an RPG and, like, set up waylays and stuff and say, hey, guys, play through this. See how it goes. Or, like, have, like, essentially trials and kind of set up for people to play through. And then everyone can take their team with them. And maybe it's team-based. Like, you're spreading out trying to accomplish your different quests. Might be cool. This is definitely is a game that inspires me when I want to build games. Like when I want to write a game, this is a game that is inspiring to me because it clicks a bunch of buttons in ways that other games don't. And I think we need more of that in the game sphere. So anyway, I'm Chan Sterling. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a little bit and watching as I try and play through a solo version of Arcadia the Wyld Hunt. If you like my content, please make sure you follow here on Twitch. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe, share to other people. People don't know about this game. Every time it shows up on the Dead CCG groups, people are like, what is that game? Now you know a little bit more about it, and I highly recommend it. So check me out on Twitter and everything else. Aside from that, maybe I'll see you next time on Twitch. But my name's Chan, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.